Good morning, community. How are you? Jenenne Macklin here, transformational speaker, wealth guide, and catalyst. And I know I'm a little bit later than I usually am, but I wanted to hop on here anyway. Well, you're breathing now? You okay? It is Monday. And while we don't have all the answers, we have some answers, and maybe more than enough answers to make us happy for now. You're breathing, right? So it's interesting because I don't know if you can feel the flow. It's like the energy was flowing in one direction, navigating 45. And now when you think of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, now it's like a different energy has to come up through us and support that journey. So it'll just be interesting as we go forward to see how we navigate our energy. I trust that, as I said on, I think it was Thursday, and then I came back on Friday, that you were able to start breathing. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath in any crisis. In any crisis, keep breathing. That keeps the energy moving, flow through you. And ultimately, it keeps God flowing through you. Because that's that breath. Every single time that it inhales and goes through those cycles and circles, that's new breath. So continue to keep breathing. So we did it. We did it. In overwhelming numbers. And it just goes to show that when people know that they can vote, they do vote. I do believe that the mail-in ballots were the key, because half of the people who were going to vote had done that even before the November 3rd date. So now we know that there'll be different shenanigans and things that'll go on between now and next January. But I do like the fact that there are conversations, and there's a 12 people that are coming together to really look at the pandemic, which is the way we thought it should have been handled anyway. You get a committee, you pull people in, you look at all the different information, and you think more long-term, and you think across the board, not just little states and everybody's trying to do it on their own. So, and I suspect that you'll be able to have some relief. As far as I know, nobody's children were snatched off the streets or anything like that. There's a lot of fear tactics that have been used that can be triggered by different comments and things you hear in the media. So we still want to be mindful. And then we'll just go forward. Racism was here before. It's going to be here after 45 is out of office. I'm sure he'll be on the sidelines, doing what he does. But in the meantime, we'll have the potential to create something new in our lives and in our world. But we'll see how much we really have. I'm waiting to see if we're going to flip the Senate and what we're going to do with the House to see if that gives us any leverage. So for you today, just keep breathing. Just keep breathing. You could take this as a lull period, but not really. Thanksgiving's around the corner, and then Christmas is around the corner, and Kwanzaa's around the corner, and Hanukkah's around the corner. So we always have to look at new ways that we're going to be celebrating these holidays going forward. But we still have the same energy that we will have to exert. It just needs to focus in a different direction. While you're over here with 45 doing everything, now you just have to go over here with who's going to be 46. So it's just about how we're going to use our energy going forward. So what's your mindset going forward? While we're in this lull, tap into your resilience, tap into that energy of renewal, restoration. That's what we want to look at. How do we renew our spirits? How do we restore? Not what was, but what could be. How do we restore what's already there within us that we haven't even tapped into? That's amazing. That's magnificent. How do we, where we felt bruised, where you felt hurt, where you felt sad, how do we heal those wounds to get ready for what we have to continue to do? Because that's the whole thing about this process. When it started with the pandemic, and I used to say we're going up, 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 up. And we may have reached the pinnacle of it where we can now level off. But the whole thing is about our energy and being able to navigate our energy and not allow our energy to get so sucked into all the negativity that we lose our balance and we can't stay balanced and focused in our own lives because so much of our energy is being taken by the negativity. So as you go forward, and there's a little bit of a lull because we've got some transitioning that has to happen. And, I do appreciate the fact that at least Biden is saying he's extending his hand across the aisle. Now, either they can accept it or not. nonetheless, we still have to keep moving forward. We still need a vaccine. We still need to get the students in school. I do not want our seniors graduating from home. I want them to have their proms and grad night and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't want us to pray and hold the energy that there's healing, that we can turn to each other and have compassion, have understanding, at least have kindness. We know there were 70 million people who do want Trump. So now we know there's 70 million people in here. Doesn't mean they're all radical. Doesn't mean they're all supremacists. Doesn't mean that at all. A lot of people vote for him because he was a Republican Party, and they are Republicans, and they like what the Republican Party does for them and their businesses. So it's really all about us extending some compassion. And I always say it's hard because extending compassion to others would require that we extend compassion to ourselves first. And sometimes it's hard for us to do that for ourselves. So how can we do it for others? But nonetheless, that is just what we're being called to do. So I just wanted to hop on and say, I hope you're breathing. Keep breathing. Things, that's all you have is some wiggle room right now to just go, know that there'll be more shenanigans and different things that'll be coming up. In the meantime, now that you've gotten that out of your view, go back and focus on some of those goals you had for this year. What were those goals that you had in the 4 areas of your life, in your health and in your heart and with your finance and with your faith? What were those goals you had for this year? We're going to be wrapping up 2020. You made it through. We all will have made it through. Even though we thought we couldn't, we made it through, and we'll be heading into 2021. We want to go into 2021 strong. I want you to have your goals set up. I want you to have your action plans, your steps, your deadlines, all of that set up, so that if something else, we get another curveball at the beginning of 2021, we'll still have our goals in writing and know what they were. So I trust that you're better today. Nothing has shifted a whole lot. It'll take time, but as long as you have the patience on that journey, then we'll see the results, or not, but at least we tried, and then we'll go on from there. So, hi Maria, hi James, how are you? Yes, positivity at hand. Hi Junior, that's it. What else? What else would we be but positive? Especially when you recognize that it's our energy that impacts the planet. It's our energy that's impacting the planet, not somebody else's energy. I wish I could blame it on the aliens, but it's our energy. So the responsibility that we have, when you may feel helpless to say, well, what can I do? What can I do? What you can do is step into compassion, step into understanding, step into a willingness, step into a oneness, that there's no separation, that we are all one and connected to that one power and presence that's breathing breath into us and beating our hearts. And the more we send that energy to the universe, even if you don't think it's doing anything, long as you do it, you'll learn later that it did do something, because it's going to connect with all the other people who have that same kind of energy and that high vibration. And then together, all of us will be sending that energy out into the planet, and it will permeate and it will make a difference. So it's Monday. We're starting new. We're going to look to see what other shenanigans are going to come out over the next 2 or 3 weeks, or really maybe right up until the inauguration. But in the meantime, keep doing you. Go back to those goals you had. We're in the 4th quarter. What were the goals you had? What did you want to see showing up in your life or in your business? And then what were the actions you were supposed to take for those goals? What are the actions you still can take for those goals? Compassion and love, we are the icebreakers for those who can't, break the ice for themselves. Absolutely. Absolutely. Somebody's got to break the ice. We all just can't keep standing here with our mouths closed and saying nothing. So we get to do that. Those of us who can hold that energy, can be positive, can hold that high vibration, that's what we get to do. Because as we do it with others and we laugh and joke with them, then they'll do it with others. And it just has a ripple effect. And that's the power of each of us. It ripples. We can ripple out animosity. We can ripple out lies. We can ripple out separation. We can ripple out divisiveness. Or we can just ripple out compassion and understanding. No, I may not like every single thing that you do, but overall, if you've got a good heart and you're at least trying to make some things be different, well, isn't that all of us? So why can't I like you then? Why can't we work this out? And that's what it's really about. And the more we do that, the more that happens. I think that metaphysically, the faster we'll have a vaccine, the more we're reaching out, the more we're having compassion. Because the vaccine is what keeps us pretty much where we are. And if the numbers keep going up, they'll put us probably back on lockdown like it was in March to get our numbers down so we can get the students in school and get people back to work. So just anticipate that, not with fear and worry, just being able to say, oh yeah, I knew that was coming. Pay attention, and really pay attention from the point of not the media scaring you, but just looking at the rhythm we've had so far. So we know the numbers keep going up, going up, going up. We know people are going to get together that are not supposed to. So how do we then now prepare ourselves and our hearts and our minds for the realization that we may be in this same situation until next March? Which would mean we would have been in a pandemic for a year and locked down off and on for a year. Interesting. But for today, you're breathing. So keep breathing. If you didn't want the president-elect and the vice president-elect, then we will all have to make peace with it, because I'm sure no one got 100% of what they wanted. We all got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So we all will be making peace with the fact that we didn't get what we want. And there's still so much that remains to be fixed, so to speak. There's so much that's broken, so much that still remains to be fixed in our systems, our political systems, in our healthcare systems, the systemic and systematic systems of racism and bigotry and, all of that still needs to be looked at and worked on. So I just wanted to hop on. I know I hopped on here late. Something happened with my front door and I had to go get a doorknob, and then before I knew it, it was already 9:15 and 9:30. But I thought I'd hop on anyway and tell you, keep breathing. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you got yourself some rest. Keep getting rest, because we got a long way to go. We're not there yet. We may be at the halfway mark. Okay? Bye for now.